to give you guys a wide variety of different people that are crushing their goals, that are taking action every day so they can live the life that they dream of.
You're listening to the Real FI Podcast, where we discuss time-tested tricks, techniques, and strategies for pursuing financial independence today, so that we can enjoy a better tomorrow. Financial independence isn't about getting rich quick. It's about cultivating a foundation to grow financially, mentally, physically, and spiritually. Let's figure out how to kick the 9 to 5. Here are your hosts, Patrick and James.
Ready to start?
Whenever you are, dog, I'm good to go.
How's it going, everybody, and welcome to our first installment of Thinking Out Loud on the Real FI Podcast. I'm James Rippion, and I'm here with my co-host, Patrick McGrath. How's it going, Patrick?
It's going great. How's everybody out there today?
So we're really excited to get this finally rolling, published, and get the ball rolling on this podcast here. We've been talking about doing this for a long time. We've been preparing, thinking about it, and I think we got some actionable goals set up, and we're going to start giving you guys some great content. We just want to welcome you guys to the platform. We're going to be sharing things that we go through in our personal financial journey, and also just talking with great guests that have done some awesome things in their journey as well. Just trying to share some of those experiences for you guys to learn from. So Patrick, why don't you, tell everybody about, kind of what we're trying to do from your perspective and how you think we're going to be able to assist people in their financial independence journey.
Exactly. So in my ideas, the whole point of this podcast is to really introduce all of you to people that are on their financial independence journey, whether that's through real estate, whether that's through investing in the stock market, cryptocurrencies, a business, whatever. We want to give you guys a wide variety of different people that are crushing their goals, that are taking action every day so they can live the life that they dream of. And I think that's what James and I are both on the path of doing. And we would like to share that with all of you and show you that, just two regular guys, who put a plan and are taking action every day can achieve, and you can too. And I hope that the content shows that as we put it out there every week. So we plan on doing a segment once a week called Thinking Out Loud, which this is going to be the first one of, where James and I are going to talk about different topics, current events, and all of that, and just kind of put our spin on them. So those will be coming out once a week. And then we're also going to have guests on once a week as well to talk about their financial independence journey. So I'm really looking forward to it. We've been putting this in place for probably the last 3 or 4 months now, and we're super excited to launch and look forward to interacting with all of you guys. So
perfect. And I think now would be a good opportunity for us to talk about ourselves a little bit, give a little bit of background, discuss where we came from, talk about some of the things we've done and maybe what we're planning to do in the future. I know, the pursuit of financial independence is a lifelong journey. It's not something that happens overnight, for sure. And a lot of times building up that momentum takes a couple of years to actually do that. So I think giving a little bit of background information on where we're coming from and what has inspired us to start this podcast and kind of give more information about this whole topic would be useful. So just personally, I grew up in Frederick, Maryland, went to college up in Pennsylvania, ended up going to law school in Washington, D.C., practiced for about 5 years, some small law firms in Maryland, and actually, did some real estate investments throughout that time, got up to about 10 units, single families between Maryland and North Carolina, did a lot of out-of-state investing, learned a lot of lessons that way, and it was a fantastic experience. But that's just kind of how I got started, using my income from my W-2 to fuel some of those passive income pursuits in real estate. And I think that's where the momentum really started to build up for me. So after about 5 years of practicing law, kind of was looking at the real estate industry and thought to myself that that's what I want to do full time. I want to be in the dirt, in the weeds, building wealth, learning firsthand from that experience. So about a year ago, my wife and I had a conversation about what that might look like. So we ended up deciding to move down to North Carolina from Maryland, to be closer to her side of the family, and also for me to be able to work with her mother, my mother-in-law, at her brokerage selling real estate. So now I'm a full-time real estate agent selling real estate, doing my investments on the side, and also helping other investors get into their first, second, fifth investment property as well. So it's really been a transformative year for me. A lot has happened, and at the same time, looking forward to many more changes on the horizon. For me, that's going to include a lot more real estate, some Bitcoin, some other interesting partnerships and investments as they come up, but ultimately just working day to day to build passive income and wealth in a really sustainable and enduring way. So that's my nutshell. That's kind of where I'm coming from, what I plan to do, and just looking forward to engaging in that journey with everybody from here on out. How about you, Patrick? Where are you from? What are you doing?
Yeah, so I'm currently here in Maryland. I live in Carroll County, Maryland. Been here for about 3 years. So over the last, I'd say 5.5, 6 years, I worked for a company as a regional sales manager. So I traveled up and down the East Coast, was gone all the time, but it was a really great opportunity for me to have a high income earning position where I could invest that money into different opportunities, and that happened to be real estate. So my wife and I, we bought our first investment property back in 2017. It's a single family home, and we did all the work on that with me, my wife, and my dad. And that was going to be our first investment. And we actually did what a lot of investors do. We made it way too nice and ended up moving into that one and renting out our first home. So that was our first kind of foray into real estate investing. We took 2 years from that point until we bought our next investment property, which was a triplex. And then we bought another single family, and then we bought a fourplex. And then in May of 2020, we purchased a 10-unit apartment building. So altogether, I think that was up to 19 properties, or 19 total units at one time. Actually 20 total units. And we sold off 3 back in 2020. So last year. And now we're currently sitting at 17 rental units. We've got 6 more under contract scheduled to close here sometime in February to bring us up to 23. I also invest in cryptocurrency. I also invest in the stock market, do some trading, and have a couple other different business ventures out there. So all that being said, I did actually quit my W-2 last year. So I am living 100% off of savings and the income that we bring in from all of these investments. So within a matter of 2 years, we were able to build up a large enough portfolio and a large enough cash flow for me to be able to step back and do that and dive into real estate, investing, and entrepreneurship full time. So I'm living proof that you can do it. You just have to put your head down, grind, and do the things that everybody else doesn't want to do, so you can scale and build a great life for yourself. So 2022 is going to be a great year. I'm looking to share all of my tips. I don't really have any tricks, it's just hard work, grinding. But I think James and I both have 2 unique perspectives. Our goals align with what we're trying to do, what we're trying to accomplish. We both look at things similar but different based on our backgrounds and everything else. So I think both of us together are going to be able to give you guys 2 unique perspectives on financial independence and how you can get there. So James and I believe are really looking forward to growing this great network with everyone and being able to provide some weekly content, to help push you to accomplish all of your goals.
Absolutely. I think that's super important for people to realize is that when we're having these conversations between the two of us and even three of us, if we have a guest on, we're not going to be perfectly aligned on everything. And I think that's what excites me about this experience, because it's that complementary perspective and that contrast that gives you something to learn from. So I think it's totally okay if our guests and our listeners don't exactly uh, think the same way as we do or even agree. That's totally fine. But what we're trying to do here is provide perspective and experience to help people build from. I know that my interactions with Patrick have been incredible so far. I've learned so much from Patrick, from the way he's managing his life finances and personal finances, and also how he's building out his real estate empire, as I like to say. It's a very creative way that he's doing it, and I'm personally learning a lot from it. And that's because we're just coming from different backgrounds and different philosophies, and you can get a lot of value from approaching investment advice that way. So I think that's going to be really, really exciting for people to dig into.
Yeah, I 100% agree with all of that. I mean, just to give you a little background on how James and I first met, we actually ran into each other at a syndication meetup back in 2019, I believe it was. It was a Saturday morning in Tyson's Corner, Virginia, like 7:30 a.m. So just being there, you knew that all of us kind of had the same goals, at least on trying to grow, and had a love for real estate. And James introduced himself and said he had a meetup, a real estate investors meetup that he was doing, and invited me. And I started coming, and James and I kind of connected through that over the next 6 months to a year. And I just felt that both of us had perspectives and goals aligned that we could share together. And I really like how he is very detail oriented and has his goals on a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly basis, all written out every single day. This man has this sheet on him all the time, which is a little bit different than the way I approach things. And I would like to have a little bit more structure like that. So again, we complement each other really well. I think everybody out there is going to get a ton of value from the two different perspectives. You can decide, who you agree with, who you don't agree with, or whatever. But I really think you're going to get some unique perspectives on financial independence. You're going to get some great conversations. We're going to try to dive deep into some things. We may be right, we may be wrong, but at least we're out here taking action, trying to put ourselves out there, just so we can help everybody. That's the whole goal of this. Is we want to help as many people as we can realize that they can become financially independent. And selfishly, we also want to talk to people that are out there doing it. I mean, we get to ask people that are being successful, great questions, and dive deep into their business and their mindset and how they're accomplishing these huge tasks and becoming financially free and living a great life. So that's going to add a ton of value to me. I'm sure it's going to add a ton of value to James, a ton of value to all you listeners out there. And it's going to help us grow personally. So I'm really looking forward to that.
I think in addition to this podcast, where the viewers and listeners can get a lot of value is with our respective Instagram accounts, because I know I'm personally planning on upping the amount of content I put out there. Patrick already does an incredible job, and he's going to do even better job in 2022 with putting out some useful content. But as it relates to me specifically, just to let you guys know what I'm doing to try and help be transparent, I'm going to be posting in a very transparent way all of my personal finances, like the down, dirty, and ugly. For better or worse, you guys are going to be able to peer into kind of what I'm doing and pick it apart on your own account. And you can judge it, you can embrace it, you could say this is smart, this is reckless, this is this, that, or the other. But the purpose for me doing this is that, you come across a lot of people who will tell you what to do, but you don't get to see how it plays out in real time. And you really don't know what goes into it for that whole building process, which takes an incredible amount of time and patience. So I just want to peel back, the layer of the onions for you guys to, cry with me as I go along with my journey to reach financial independence. And I think it's going to be so much fun. People have a weird perspective about talking about money, being super transparent about it, but that's always something that I've wanted to talk to people about, because when I've met people who have been at that next level, I want to know what they did to get there. I want to know how painful it was, what was easy, what should I not have done, what should I try to replicate. And it's those common themes that kind of get buried in this stigma of talking about money. So personally, I look forward to holding myself accountable first and foremost. I think that's kind of why I'm doing this. And also educating everybody by just giving a transparent example. Now, I'm going to caveat my use of the word transparent. I've significantly reduced our net worth and our financials that I'm going to be sharing in a pretty logical way. But the starting figure is going to be about $390,000. And I'm going to be tracking income, expenses, net worth, investments, returns, everything from here on out. So it'll be pretty easy for you guys to keep track of that and just hopefully learn something.
And how are they going to be able to keep track of that, James? What's your Instagram for everybody out there to go give them a follow?
The most important information I could have, given for that. Yeah, you can get some of this information on Instagram at James_Rippion. Rippeon is the spelling of the last name there. But yeah, I'm going to be putting everything there. I've been bashful enough not to do videos, but 2022 is going to be the year of being comfortable, getting uncomfortable. So I plan on doing some video content as well. But yeah, just going to be posting everything on Instagram.
Hey, I look forward to seeing that. That's one thing about James is he's been extremely transparent with me throughout this whole thing. We've been extremely transparent together about our finances and kind of where we sit with life, our goals and everything. We've had a ton of conversations offline about that. And I think he's going to be able to provide some really unique perspective on all of that. So everybody out there, go give him a follow. If you got any hate, throw it his way. It helps the Instagram algorithm push him out to more people. So tell him all the things he's doing terrible, and he'll talk about it more and do better. So I think that's going to be great. And then everybody out there can follow me at the Rental Property Couple. I put out a ton of videos and all the renovations that we're doing on our properties, what the numbers look like. I try to be as transparent as possible too in my stories on what I'm doing on a daily basis. So yeah, check us out on Instagram and you'll have all the updates for the podcast. Everything else will be on both of our pages. So.
And I'll give a quick plug for Patrick's content. If you're, getting started in real estate and you're looking to tackle something more than a single family up front, starting to follow Patrick right now, his part where he is in his journey will be instrumental, because he does a lot of creative things to get deals into his pipeline that he takes down in very favorable terms, we'll put it that way. So definitely give him a follow. If you're looking to supercharge your real estate journey, Patrick's Instagram is going to be a great wealth of knowledge for you.
Yeah. And also, James is a licensed real estate agent. So if anyone out there is, looking for an investment property in the North Carolina area, or just wants to reach out and have them help you run the numbers or anything else, if you're looking for a local agent out there in your market, I'm sure he would be happy to recommend somebody that would be able to help you out if you're looking for properties. I'm in the process of getting my real estate license as well to be able to help all of you find that first, second, third, fifth property in the Maryland region. So we're both here to help as much as possible. You can shoot us a DM on Instagram. You can email us. What is it? Info at the Real FI.
Yeah, you got it. Info at therealfi.com.
Info at therealfi.com. We'll answer any and all messages and try to provide as much value as possible. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but I think that's what we're here to do. By the way, this is the second time that we've done this. We made one probably about 3 months ago, and we've been slacking a little bit. So to be completely transparent, we decided today that we were just going to redo it and put it out there. So we're starting the new year all fresh, just like everybody else.
Well, to be fair, we got great momentum going, and we did everything but posting it. So like the podcast was taking place in the background. So everyone can, rest assured that we were taking action. And that's the most important thing in this journey and any other journey you engage in, just taking action. You're going to hit these spells of slacking a little bit, or maybe it's self-doubt that kind of gets into your self-conscious, and then maybe not taking the actions you need to, whatever it might be. This podcast is going to be a perfect example of that. And yeah, the holidays came, shit happens, and we are where we are now. So we're gonna make it work now, starting today. So
exactly, starting today. So I just wanted to let you all know, like, we've been doing this for like 2.5 months now, and this is going to be the first one we put out. So hey, you got to start somewhere, right? As long as you put your head down and make it a point. So everyone will see this the first week of January. We're putting that out there right now.
Yeah.
So,
and our apologies if some of the guest recordings we did, hopefully they're as timeless as possible. So
they'll be coming out too. So, all right, with that, we're going to wrap this up. We're trying to keep it short and sweet. So go give us a follow on Instagram, shoot us an email, and then hopefully you'll see this posted on all the platforms. So give us a download, give us a subscribe on Spotify and YouTube and all that other stuff, so you're up to date on everything that's coming out. And if you're interested in wanting to be a guest, shoot us an email or a DM, and we'd love to have you on here to talk about financial independence and give our viewers some great content. So thanks, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
See you guys.
Thank you for listening to the Real FI podcast, where you learn from the investors that have lived the hard lessons for you. To connect with us during your pursuit of financial independence, be sure to join our community by following us on Instagram or emailing us at info@therealfi.com. If this content made you financially, mentally, physically, or spiritually richer, please make sure to leave us a positive review on your preferred content platform. Cheers to kicking the 9 to 5.